Hello there folks, welcome and welcome back to pxy-gnomes. Today is Sunday here night, so not the best day for streaming, but in my own, sometimes yes, often not. But here we go, we need to complete some more stuff here on the rigging process of the body. So let's see, this is nearly complete, at least some miscellaneous topics, and then the big topic, then okay, then we have some physics. Maybe I have to make some, instead of wiggle for this particular project, because here I don't really know how this will work, right? I don't have the means to test properly. I can take some reference, so yeah, wiggle and spring. Okay, I'll take a look in the spring thing anyways. Yeah, I should. It would be better if I had some. This will be offline, yeah, so unfortunately we'll have to set those things separately. So this is, maybe I don't even do this, right? Actually this is for animation side blender, so yeah, maybe we can simplify. So simplification would mean that, yeah, simplification could mean just this. Yeah, okay, let's simplify like that. That's the idea, maybe the eyelashes, but I think that will be no exaggeration. So body, smooth waves. Let's get some soundtrack as well. There we go. So the spine, base waves for the spine and upper torso, yes, as best as we can. So here we'll have to hide some clothing to address this. Actually we could do that, because it's the torso, we need to, yeah, maybe we'll hide this, right? Then let's hide some stuff that might not help in here. Alright, so we use the torso here. Let's address the wave paint. So the base waves for that, of course you need some bones to test. So actually let's get here, actually reduce this. We need to address the, we still have some bad deforms there from some inverse kinematics automation for helper bones. Maybe I'll have to readdress that. No, this is actually not the bones themselves that are, oh yes, it is the bones. Let's see here, maybe it's because, yeah, okay, it's moving the positioning here. We can improve this, so maybe we bring it there. It will, yeah, let's bring it to that joint. It doesn't need to be glued there actually, but yeah, maybe here. Or I could just apply Yeah, we could also do that, right? This will reset the bone, not the bones, it will reset the mesh. Yeah, okay, that can work. So this is connected, I think. No, they are inverted, so I need to, yeah, let's pick, in principle that will be this one. So just get this one, pose, apply, select as rest pose. Okay, no, didn't work. Alright, so get these two. Alright, so now they are fixed. We going to symmetrize. But now I'm not sure if this will be good for the automation. Yeah, it still works. So, and the mesh now is not badly deformed from the rest position. Okay, that helps. We could do the same for this other one. Yeah, we can reposition this later also. Let's get these things and pose, apply, select as rest pose, and then symmetrize. Alright. But this is not doing the I key. Now it is doing. Alright. It's because I added the use tail. Now this is correct. Alright, so, but it's not the base skeleton. No, it's not the helper bones here that we need, it's the base skeleton. So I just need to visualize the control I key skeleton, these blue ones, and the deform skeleton. Let's check here. Where is the chat? The chat, okay, I see it here. Alright, so base waves, right? So just improving the base waves. This I think I've already worked on. Not sure this is adequate waves, but okay, that might work. Actually, use the middle mouse button here. Yeah, maybe there's too much waves there. Let's see. Well, no, it doesn't seem too wrong, but maybe we can reduce a little here this influence, and then re-smooth, but then I think the result will be like in the end nearly the same. Okay, so lower spine, actually the hips, so I'll make sure I have here this maximum waves here. It looks like there are more waves here for this hip. Yeah, this doesn't seem adequate. I don't think this bone needs to have this influence here. Because this is already the leg. The gluteus, we consider it is also the buttocks, we consider that they are the legs, the bone that, so we have this bone which is the thigh, this is the corresponding to the left side of the hip, so it's the pelvis but it's the left side. So of course this is unnatural, but for rigging that is fine. And then this, so this shears wave has all this blending area because this is a, it's I'm trying a way to rig that, yeah. So this has this wave paint layer. Here we have an imperfection. We don't want waves on the center, on the torso. Barely we don't want this threshold. So this will be the limit threshold. We don't want waves from the thigh on the torso. But this region here of the gluteus, of the side of the pelvis, the pubis of the crotch but closer to the leg, so this is a frontier zone, and here's another frontier zone for the hip, but this is for the leg. So the leg actually is going, is all that is being the leg. So this is why I have this topology doing like that. Dico has a no tutorial where he addressed this method. Looks like I have some problem with, is this an illusion? Looks like I've seen some strange shape here, so let's just improve this slightly. Yeah, from this angle we see what's going wrong here. So this is because of the low poly, of course. There's not, if I keep this topology, there's just not too much I can do. We have already a lot of trigoons. Might not work in the end for no matter what I do for rigging, but no, it certainly would have a way to do. This is not the case of using deform modifier. The trick, if I had a perfectly deforming base mesh, cage mesh, I could use this with the deform modifier to make the proper corrected joint rig deforms for any other mesh, even if the topology is like that, or is good or is bad, doesn't matter. It will take over the waves instead. It will, but unfortunately that technique won't work for exportation, or maybe it does. That I've heard it something like that about modifications of the mesh. These are called albedo or something like that. I have no idea how to use these things, but I know I've heard that exists. I just don't know specifically what it really does, but so it might be able to correspond to objects modifications inside game engines, for instance. I'm not sure. Maybe shrink wrap modifier, maybe even the deform modifier. But all this is too good, the deform modifier, but the challenge is still the same. We need to, on a base mesh, on a cage mesh, we need to be able to make the deforms perfect, anatomically ideal. And this is super hard, of course. So it doesn't matter. You can try to do the rig with a cylinder, low poly character as, or high poly, whatever. If you are able to create the anatomic, organically good deforms, then you've mastered it. Then you can just employ the cage mesh as the target of the armature deform. No, sorry, not armature deform. The deform modifier, right? Mesh deform now is yeah, mesh deform, I think it's this one. Yeah, probably this one. So it's a cage mesh, right? Something like that. So unfortunately no one has come with the brilliant idea to propose, oh, I've rigged a perfectly accurate rigged model, now you can use this for your rigs. Yeah. Like it's super simple for 3D animation side blend. And if there's this albedo thing that would work outside, then okay, we could use the same technique to that will solve like more than 70%, yeah, at least 50% of rigging problems, organic rigging problems. Actually it's 70, I'd say. The rest is face rigging, but hand rigging, stuff like that. But for the main body, and of course control rig and stuff like that. But for the deform rig, in what concerns the deform rig, that will be like a major. They just need one good deforming base mesh. If anyone is able to make a well deforming base mesh, of course it would have certain styles, certain proportions, but you got this, you can transfer these perfectly corrected deforms. They would need to be corrected, right? Shape keys, I think they wouldn't work because that the shape keys won't be part of the mesh deform modifier. Yeah, I think not. So we cannot use, we need to make corrections from the perspective of the bones, helper bones, stuff like that. Okay, let's continue here. Of course I need to be testing stuff as we go here. I see that, oh yeah, we need to smooth out that actually. So this probably was not a very good idea, also because I need to, yeah, smooth here maybe. Okay, let's see now. Okay, this is a little better, but that is clipping is not good, so maybe it was a mistake to take off these waves. So all this region here, yeah, I think it was until here. Yeah, kind of better. But this can pose additional problems later. The question here is, maybe we need a bit more waves here for this threshold. Yeah, so I don't want to be taking too much time in this area because this is a complicated area, but this is the basis, right? I should be able to get this right without... I should be able to get a good base result here at least. I don't remember this effect here, so this might be happening because maybe this leg, maybe because I took off waves from... No, it's not... Okay, so maybe I could use this. So this bone, I don't have a lot of experience with it, so I don't know exactly how I'm gonna be using it. Even the waves, I have some ideas, but oh yeah, this seems to have improved. Yeah, so the only thing that I know is that it is good for the layering of the wave paint, thanks to the also the topology, which is a bit limited here, but we have a beginning of wave paint layering. And maybe this is not enough yet. So I'm taking some risk here, but so by getting this, this is nor the torso nor the leg, so it's an intermediate region, and that can be useful because of that. Yeah, so I still have this terrible clipping here, which is, well, a great deal is because of the low poly. Can I... Maybe if I did that, I could get some better result. What to do here? No, still complicated. Maybe I can just change the topology here. Not the topology, the geometry. GG. Okay, but generically speaking, it's working. The control rig there and all that. It's just that we have this. Oh, I see what's going. What could be better here is that possibly I could try to bring this mesh No, still not. Should be simple though. Okay, let's try to do okay, taking waste from here can work, but it will be very, very risky. I could do just for this. Why? What's happened to the tool here? Got crazy. Radius, waves. I have some. It decided to work as some sort of gradient, as it seems to have auto normalize. Stabilized stroke. No, not auto stabilized stroke. I didn't even know that was possible. Alright. Okay, let's continue addressing. So if I get this one, okay, maybe if I bring more waves to here, this can also help, but it's very questionable. Okay, but it does some job, alright. And this, oh yeah, okay, so I got it. So we'll have these weird influences here. Okay, so that seems to work on this, but I'm very afraid about the rest, the leg. But anyways, that I'll have to remember that if this doesn't work at all, I'll have to change the topology, maybe a little less low poly. Okay, let's go up now for the spine. So here we want to work on this layering. So far everything that I've seen here for this torso is working okay. Nothing too problematic. This might seem a bit narrow, but results are it will be better with bendy bones, but in this project I'm not. Oh, here, yeah, so maybe here we could have some better. It's also a little lack of geometry there. Okay, let's do this again. Yeah, so let's bring for this bone here more influence here for the belly, and maybe even this area here, so bring a bit more structure there. Is that really what I want? Yeah, this kind of work, but it can be improved. So I think it's just lacking too much of some lack of geometry indeed. So let's just smooth this out again. Then maybe we let's make some tests here. Let's say, what if I take off all these waves here? Ah, this is a little better. Alright, so there was too much influence for the thoracic cage, so it was it probably could have a little more influence for, or even this one. Actually, maybe this one is having too much influence here on the other. Yeah, so this is good. So let's maybe smooth these waves here. So this is more like the, yeah, really this is more about the crotch, the lower belly. Makes sense. It's because usually I didn't do this rig like that. And here, yeah, we have some stronger waves here, but we can continue reinforcing this. Alright, let's check again. That seems good. Then this one, you see this tiny bone here, this is a fake system for posing. This is because of Mixamo retargeting. Yeah, this is for no, sorry. This is multiple functionalities actually. It's for the head pinning, the Ike bone constraint on the head. So I had to make this extra bone here. So not a deform bone, so the deform bone follows this one actually, the big one. But this allows to split to have a good control of the spine despite the glitch or the bugs or the complications of using auto IK option with IK bone constraint. when the I key chains they match, they start to, the I key bound constraint starts to interfere with the I key option, auto I key option, even when the I key bound constraint is disabled, influence set to 0, disable bound constraint, still I've reported that, so there's some glitch thing. It shouldn't allow the I key chain of the I key bound constraint to affect the posing, but it does. So there's a inconsistency there that I found because I was playing with these systems. Okay, so here we get some terrible bending here, so I think here is a good chance to try to solve this by seeing what happens if we just start wave painting here and see the results. So apparently it's not so much about the influence here, but kind of help. It's more about the influence of this one. So it needs to grab a little of the lower spine, right? So we can maybe have a little less powerful influence here. Who knows? Maybe a little more here. I'm not sure about this part because, yeah, this bone is very long. Yeah, this sort of works, but it was better before, so I might have messed it up a little. Let's save a new file here. Well, intuitively, the way that I used to do this, that I consider that the chest, it goes, yeah, the thoracic cage, yeah, it will go up to this place. So here is like, should be very strong for this, because we are, this will be the bone structure, and then, yeah, something like that, yeah. But then there is still some ribs going down, so we need to improve here some, not so much here in the center, but maybe even here, so get this area a little more empowered. Good, okay. And the idea why the boobs, the breast region, are not here, we can probably improve this as well. So I'm gonna reduce some waves here. It will be strange, right, in this amount of geometry, but yeah. So here we have, maybe you can smooth this out, and yeah, something like that. Let's check now. Yeah, it's a bit weird, it's losing waves there, so let's rebuild some stronger weights there again. Little lower than 1, but still Okay, that sounds plausible. Of course, we'll have to check something I forgot, right? We need to yeah, so the belly here we're having some problem. No, not that much, but it seems that the belly is losing some waves, some volume. Maybe we can, yeah, so push down, yeah, get this sort of higher influence on this mesh here. Maybe even reaching this threshold. Maybe this will give some better stability. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. Of course we don't want this, so we need some gradation here. Okay, let's get these two. Not sure, this don't look very nice actually. Sounds very dangerous to do this, but maybe this smooth out some stuff. Sometimes this can help. Okay, I believe this should be yeah, this seems too drastical, so maybe we return to the previous idea. Let's see this. The waves here are just too strong, so yeah, I still don't have a good bending here for the stomach. Maybe we have some rogue waves. Yeah, maybe this is now this bone is not really doing anything here. A little, yeah, a little. The problem would be here, so maybe more waves or less waves. More waves and maybe a little more. On up this region, yeah. Yeah, bendy bone is so much better. Okay, but this is not terrible. This is like... Also, yeah, let's smooth here. Yeah, this is sort of working. Maybe here a little... The mesh gets kind of confused here. Something about the... Can try to simplify this. Yeah, the mesh was already a little not very accurate here, so maybe that's one of the reasons we... Yeah, this face is not good, although it's a quad. In a low poly like this could be... Could be a trigon, right? But I think the shading was not a trigon. It would be another more simplified shape. But I remember that when I tried, but then the shading wasn't so good. So this made up for a slightly better shading. That's why I've... But now I'm having problem with the rigging part. Trying to see if by doing this stuff I can get slightly better results. Yes, the mesh there is more stable now than the navel, but the waves here in the belly, lower belly, are really weird on the front bending. So I still have this limitation there, but okay, maybe this is a mistake. All these waves, yeah, maybe this is a mistake. So let's... We need a threshold for this, and so this will be the limit, right? So I think this limit seems fair. And here, yeah, then will be here. All right. And maybe for the back part we could risk just a little more. Yeah, here. And this is a mistake. Okay, so there's still some problems, but the main thing seems to be good. So for this one, maybe here is, we don't want this influence here, and we'll start to take off let's see what does this gives. Okay, this gives more or less good result, but so maybe just want this here, and here just a raw generic value like that, and that would be okay. So I'm gonna accept this, and then in animation, right, keyframes, even for a game, all these things are probably not gonna even be that relevant. And of course we have the possibility to just add a subdivision surface modifier, and that can also help getting. So one of the reasons, but I'm not rigging with that. So not this character, I'm trying to be stylized simplification, so oversimplification in some aspect. We're going to do something else also here regarding the oh yes, okay, so one of the reasons why we get some stuff like that might be because I've exaggerated this bone here. Possibly I'm using this bone wrongly. So maybe it shouldn't have influence in the center. So this is, I'm ain't sure, so I'm gonna, and maybe too much waves here that are having well, if it shouldn't have influence in this center, then I should take off the waves here. and here as well. Alright, and reduce here, and that would be it. Okay, let's see now. Yes, this is much better. Okay, so we were having some very bad influence from the, not this bone, but actually these bones. Could be the thigh bone also here has some. Yeah, so maybe the thigh bone here has excessive influence, but let's leave it like that. Let's continue moving up. Yeah, so here there's just the continuation, and here maybe I can, yeah, this is already the idea here is to take off some waves from the boobs so that they will be more controlled by other bones. And here maybe we got a reduction. Yeah, maybe that makes sense, even though, but not too much. So this region here also can have some variation. Here maybe we reduce, yeah, let's reduce this. Then here also let's reduce this. All right, so here okay, so you have a lot of other bones. So this, the torso have this other influence, would give it more stability. This part of the neck doesn't seem to need this kind of influence. This is a different story. Okay, so here we have a good distribution of waves, I think, because the chest bone, this one, is carrying, actually the deformed chest bone, yeah, it is carrying waves in a lot of parts of the chest, and it is doing its job like it's a box, right? So it's giving stability to all these reddish areas and less stability to the others, so they will be smoother to be controlled by other bones. And so this is on a low poly, this is much simpler, right? We want this crossing here, so it's like a piece of clothing, right? But so it's the rib cage, right? Thoracic cage, so it has this overarching structure like the skull, and so this seems to be working fine enough in my opinion, although I should probably revise now the, yeah, still have the neck bone. I think I have checked. We want a twist bone for this. The back of the neck is not good, right? So probably here we need, didn't see that, so we want some Yeah, so this part in the neck we want some more string here. Here possibly we want some more, and a less influence here for the neck maybe. Very subtle stuff maybe. For the head we'll see later. The neck seems to break. Isn't that because the neck bone is starting too much inside? Yeah, it seems to be positioned in a, the joint there doesn't seem quite correct, right? So to simplify this, we could try to hide all this. Let's see here. Yeah, look where the joints were. Of course, also the skeleton here. We shift Alt H, extend, hide. Nope, didn't work. Okay, but I don't want to be hiding all the bones, just some bones here, right? Yeah, so we need to reposition this, let's say, let's pick this face loop. Ah, that's how you, no, it doesn't work. So let's pick this vertex and this vertex and place exactly there. So this is where more likely I would like to have this these joints. But there are a lot of bones here. Fortunately, without bendy bones it's a little simpler to solve this, but still okay. Pose mode, unsolo all. Let's see, I don't remember all the bones that I have there to fix, so maybe we get something like, let's make a whole selection here, and then we start separating. I mean, then we start hiding whichever is not important. Okay, this is VRM, I cannot forget. These are for the face. Ponytail arm. VRM. These are I'll solve later. Yeah, the VRM I'll solve later. This is not important. This is not important. This is aim for the hands, don't matter, I think. What are these? Oh, these are clavicle, scapula, clavicle, extend H. These are helper. These are, yeah. So it's just some mechanism bones, right? So it's, yeah, it's all the chains plus a mechanism bone, which is, okay, pick this. This will move all the stuff. So you just need to shift 8, place it there. There we go. Of course, this will create this strange positioning. You can try to relocate this a little better though. Okay, I think that works for me. Then of course here we'll have okay, that seems acceptable to do this. Alright. Now let's get the skeleton. Let's get the VRM. Just one is enough. The Control I key skeleton. Snap to vertex and none included. Snap this there, and this one I see the joint. This joint also doesn't seem to be very accurate. Yeah, well, yeah, because the neck is here, the joint of the neck, right? So also a little mistake here. I think there's a lock. There were a locked bone there. Okay, before I do this, let's save here. Let's see if the rig doesn't explode. Alright, much better now, right? So indeed there was a problem with the joints, right? Badly positioned joints for the neck, right? So it was. Now I have some. I have no idea how I did those mistakes before, but there we go. Not too hard to fix. And we got some disconnection, I believe. No? I have something that don't seem to have worked for the no, it's working. Okay, I think it's a glitch. Yeah, this is a glitch, but now the system is working fine. Let's continue doing this stuff here. So I was repositioning these joints. I need to improve the neck waves. Add these selections here. Shift H, we can hide this stuff. I can make a twist bone for the neck. That might be interesting. Skeleton. Yeah, so I have already some very smooth layering here, so here we already even have a value that is not maximized, so this gives some nuance, very subtle nuance, and this is stiffer and this is quite stiff, yeah. And alright, the deforms, even though we don't have a lot of mesh, it seems, just except for the last joint there. Maybe we can try to approximate this. Yeah, the deforms in here it seems just a little weird. Maybe a little more than. No, that doesn't seem to. Doesn't seem to contribute too much. And this is already a high value, so something about perhaps the other bones. Now this one, of course, we can have some, yeah, good idea here. Let's this will meet in the center. That's acceptable. So here we could indeed use some more waves. So start having this stronger influences here. Hello in the chat. Hold on, I spotted a message. Inks and Spans. E aí, como vai? Welcome. Sua vinda... Ah, sim. Tô estudando o universo Sonic Rig de novo e acho que tô começando a entender ela. Bem interessante. Pode perguntar qualquer coisa sobre aquele rig. Eu fiz bastante já. Eu não... Tem algumas técnicas ali que eu demorei bastante para entender. Mas agora eu estou conseguindo entender essencialmente tudo e um pouco mais, porque eu comecei a adaptar, né? É muito interessante, né, aquele rig, né? Depois quero ver o que tu está fazendo, que tipo de personagem está rigando. Se tiver um link, pode enviar. Realmente é o único rig. Qualquer dúvida te mando mensagem. Sim, com certeza. Sim, pode enviar screenshots e tal. Tem várias etapas, né? Uma descoberta minha que eu fiz por último, caso tu tá de saída, né? É um Sonic mesmo. Tá, é o próprio. É o Sonic ou é o Sonic X? Porque tem várias versões, né? A última coisa que eu descobri a respeito do universo Sonic Melt Rig é que... Vamos ver aqui. É que tem um jeito de tornar ele conversível para games, para game engine, ou seja, para exportação de animação 3D bakeada. E eu já tinha tentado algo assim antes, faz parte de alguns procedimentos. Eu consegui refazer ele sem usar o Shrink Wrap Modifier. Eu não tenho nenhum Shrink Wrap Modifier aqui. Eu tenho, mas eles estão todos desativados, né? Seria esse aqui, né? Eu consegui fazer ele apenas com Shrink Wrap Bond Constraints. É um tipo específico de Shrink Wrap Bond Constraints. Isso é outra coisa que eu descobri com o tempo. O que é isso mesmo? Dá para fazer o Universe Sonic Melt Rig sem Shrink Wrap Modifier. Claro que o Shrink Wrap Modifier da malha é melhor, né? Que magia é essa? Não, é que o Shrink Wrap, o recurso feature, né? Feature, o recurso, como é que é feature em inglês? Translate feature. O recurso, né? Enfim, a característica, o aspecto do... Sim, não, ele funciona essencialmente como esperado. Claro que nesse character design não tem tanta... Vamos pegar aqui lower face, não, precisa dos controladores dos lips. Eu vou deixar esses ossos aqui aparecendo porque aí vai dar pra enxergar melhor, né? Então, não, isso aqui é outra coisa, peraí. Ali tá tendo interseção com... tem uma coisa aqui que tá faltando. Esse bone aqui. Esse. Aqui tem algumas coisas que faz tempo que um pouquinho de tempo que eu já pulei para outra etapa, mas eu me dei por satisfeito porque com o subdivisions, eu nem estou usando subdivision, com o subdivision fica melhor. Provavelmente eu estou errando algumas coisas na pose, né? Não é tão fácil, né, quanto, né? Não é tão fácil quanto fazer sem shrink wrap modifier, mas dá pra ver que dá pra fazer sim. Mashable, incrível. Agora você que tem que acordar cedo. Sim, então, legal. A ti também, então, boa noite, bom descanso, boa semana que começa e até a próxima. Valeu. Então, obrigado pela presença. Shrink wrap bond constraint, né? Só que aí precisa, caso ainda esteja aí ouvindo, mas ou outra pessoa, precisa ter mais bonds auxiliares, como se fosse da boca. Então esses aqui em volta, eles são bonds auxiliares que nem esses do lado. Eles funcionam que nem esses aqui, só que eles são para essa área em volta. É a única maneira de mimetizar o shrink wrap modifier. Só que aí esses bonds eles têm que ter shrink wrap bond constraints. Pode ser o outro, mas esse aqui é melhor, o project nesse caso. Enfim. Skeleton, isso. Então vamos lá para... acabou o tempo. Acho que meu timing acabou. Time's up, folks. So, but I will not. I think I have a few more things to do here, to things that I can achieve that might be nice. So maybe here, why not? This neck feels a bit too stiff. So what I'm going to do is, I think there's no, it won't be a terrible thing to have just an extra bone here for the deforms, making also because I'll have a twisting neck, right? Yeah, so it makes sense. What's happening to the topology here? Alright, so we're gonna make some improvements of the feature of the neck, because we can, this can go, of course, overly complicated. The best thing would be just have a okay, so I think I have a better solution here. I'm gonna make the neck a special thing. Really? No, that can cause some trouble. No, that's I thought about a converted bendy bone, but in the end it will be like a bit more complicated. So yeah, let's make it a twist first. So subdivide, and so let's make this control F2 B, so find replace, instead of neck, twist neck, right, 01, 02. Well, it's I don't like this way, but to keep things in the same logic. Alright, so I'm going to do the way I was doing. We pick this one. We're going to go on the vertex groups and we duplicate twice. And here we, if I remember correctly, twist neck, and this one also twist neck. Okay, that should have, yeah, created this. Then we gonna see the parenting here. This will go parent, I don't remember what's the parent to the deform arm lower, parent to, okay, both are have the same parent, so it's the deform neck. Keep offset. We just need to get what is the bound constraint here? Copy rotation of the mechanism I key. Alright, so I don't know what should it follow. Oh, we have a control neck. Right, this is following I key hand. Yeah, so they need to try to follow. Okay, let's try the no, these are different, right? Let's try the Control F key head. So we're gonna no, it's the opposite, right? Copy rotation, then we pick these two, hold out, local space, just the Y, replace, yes, on a, oh, how is the, okay, how does that work? Yeah, just this, got this value for the closest one. It's not even an inversion. 0.3. Alright, then if this is locked, nothing works. Deform head. Okay, so this automation is not working. So let's try the mechanism head. Maybe that will no, irresponsive. Maybe it's the deform head then. Yeah, maybe it's just the deform head, but it could be, oh no, it will follow because the deformed skeleton, I hope the deformed skeleton have the bone constraint copy transform, so that should be sufficient. In this case of the head, this should be straightforward. Now this has a wrong bound constraint. Alright. Good, now we have the twisting feature, but still the neck, we need to change the waves. So we're gonna adapt here. So we're gonna leave the waves there. First, yeah, they probably are deformed bones, they were duplicates. So we're gonna take off lower waves here. And keep everything like that, except here in the middle where we could... No, we'll leave like that. Maybe just here we can reinforce here. And now for this one is the opposite. Take off all the waves from the top region, upper region. Maybe just leave one small amount of influence here. And that should be it. Now if we get here, yeah, look at that. That's a good twisting feature, although the deform seems to get a little weird. The skinning feels like there's some strange volume loss. Despite all efforts, or maybe this is just the base mesh that is a little incorrect. It's got some small fixes. Yeah, it's still not. Now we have some artifacts here. Of course, this is a very exaggerated pose. The head, yeah, maybe the waves of the head are a bit incorrect. We can look for other waves that are influencing here, but I believe it's, yeah, the head here. We have some rogue waves. Yeah, the head needs some influence here, right? Of course, I'm gonna re-wave this in a moment. This is just the basal proposition. Then here, of course, we don't, I think this is useless. And here we leave these very low waves. First smoothing this out, taking next row here of the wave paint layering. Good. And finally the last one about here. Okay, I believe this should work. Better. I just need to test something quick here. The only bones that I use to control the head are just, not this actually, the master and the, yeah, the control I key. We need to check if all the automations strangely, the Deform doesn't do anything. It doesn't twist on its own, because it just has the control key. Yeah, it's, of course. So this is a little problem, but it's okay. Some other bones are rotating on its place. And here we go, we fixed that, those artifacts. The other bone that rotates the head is this one, but in order to I need to see if it controls the rotation. Yeah, it also controls the neck twisting, so that's great. All the bones that are supposed to control the head, they are automating the neck, so that is what I wanted. Sometimes this is very tricky to do. For instance, I have some automations here on helper bones on the wrist, dual fan bones that needed to target not the I key target bone, not the deform hand bone, not the control F key bone, none of this, but a mechanism bone, I key owner for I key bone constraint owner for the hand somewhere, some bone here that we don't see here, and that bone will be the versatile target. Otherwise, I have to create 2 bone constraints for this kind of automation. So to have the 2 copy rotation, one for the F key, one for the F key, one for the I key, so that will automate the bone. It's redundant, but they will stack the transform, but not in a destructive way, just in a simple additive way. Alright, so now that this is completed, do I need the helper bones for this, or for this, or will be that too much? Yeah, it sounds like it could be useful. So I could have oh, actually we could use these ones. Okay, we can make these bones into also fan bones, so it will be like a derotation, right? So the problem is that I don't know what is it's a bit bizarre, right? So essentially this start the deform head. Okay, let's try to set a twist and twist. Alright, then also let's copy this and copy these names here, symmetrize these 2 bones so they have these new names. But actually we're going to reuse these bones. In this case this is plausible, looks like feasible. I'm going to reuse them as so have in one hand the copy rotation twist, but we'll have also on our other hand the fan. And so this is the twist is for the y-axis, but this other is for the x and z axis, so it's a plane. It's the and for these ones let's leave the the order doesn't matter. Let's get this. This should not be the head, but Although the head could be an automator, but it's not the target. This should move in relation to the chest. Okay, let's see what it would do. Control C, control selected. Yeah, so you see this is bad automation. But this could be the right one. Of course we want to invert here and also probably here. So as the head rotates here, so you have a derotation, which will sort of helps on certain deforms. Yeah, if we don't have this, we'll have a little more awkward result. So this must be about subtle, and I'm using the default order. In this case of these bones, the copy rotation seems to be very straightforward, so doesn't seem to compromise anything. Seems very correct. So it derotates in all the directions. If I rotate here, it goes the other direction. Just looking at this one. Rotate on the X. Yeah, so this is correct. This amount of derotation for the bone constraint is what I regularly use, so this is seems to be accurate. For this one though, we have another problem, that is the fact that it shouldn't be doing this motion. So I think we can reuse it in a different way. So stretch 2, bone constraint. It's not its parent. It's not its child. So it just okay. So it's not rotating from its basis, right? The stretch 2 doesn't allow, right? So I thought it would allow, but this is causing, yeah, this is what I would like to do, but with this bone, but how to, I think there's a custom space thing. Well, let's try. No. Maybe the stretch needs to go. No, I think the order here doesn't matter. Strange, copy rotation should copy the, okay, maybe it really needs to go after. No, never mind. Okay, so this stretcher is not working. So of course, let's see the master again. Just checking if the automation will still work. Yes. Okay, so they are responding, so this is not a problem. What is the problem is the what should I use to automate it from the bot. So this clearly shouldn't be the head, and I could invert the bone. Yes. Alright, let's do this. And why it is not copy? Oh, I lost the parent, of course. So I'm doing this because I want to reuse the bone for this double feature, right? Of course, though. It is not doing the right motion. Okay, so it is derotating, it is lagging behind. It is rotating less than what I'm commanding, so it's just the z-axis is inverted, but that works. I just need that. For now I leave it like that because default reset. But now okay, so now it will be doing this, so I probably can, let's see, I probably can copy the fan, but now we're gonna use, let's see, yeah, there we go. So of course this is not the direction, I think. And this might not be the bone that we want. To command it from the head. This doesn't look good right now. It's just a derotation, it's not about the neck, it's just the mesh here. It's too powerful. Of course it should be a very subtle thing. And same here, maybe this is a little too much. But here I think the target is just not good here. I need to I have hard time visualizing what Okay, let's try these two here. So let's change the def chest. Actually, I just remember. No. This is not the. It's the neck itself. So it's like, because I have the control for the neck. So this, it's this thing that I want. This is for the head, of course. The twisting affect both, but this one is for, yeah, there we go. Let's see if it will. Yeah, we see that the neck is, it is the rotating. Yeah, the neck rotates here, so it starts to create some angle there, but then this bone starts to move in the opposite direction. But is its orientation right? Even? The joint starts here, right? No, this is a mistake. Alright, so this bone, I'm gonna flip it again, flip direction, parent it again to the def neck, and we're gonna, okay, so here it is. It will derotate slightly, yeah, derotate the mesh of the base of the neck, so the joint of the base, so that we will have lesser artifacts, just slightly on this region here and that region there, yeah. And this one is for the other joint, so it's different. It could certainly be inverted, this one. But this also works, so that's fine. Alright, so this fixes the neck. The last thing I need to check if I really revise this. Oh yeah, so there's the, I think, yeah, we've painted that. Okay, the we have why can't I pose this in anyways? Because it's the inverse kinematics, right? So alright, so if I want to control it, I'll have to, just to test, I'll have to let's call it tweak boob left, and parent this to the here, and then copy transforms but on local owner and before original. Okay, now I can pause it. Alright, so I'm gonna get this and Alt M to tweak body and change this color to symmetrize, right? Then yeah, a little problem is that this automation is not allowing this the leverage, yeah, these levers but not the boob, so this is something to be revised. So maybe I can get a very slight automation. This could cause a dependency cycle. Yeah, could cause a dependency cycle, I believe. Let's check. So copy transforms, no dependency cycle. Alright, so we get an automation. Strange, I thought that will... Okay, because there's no parenting apparently, so alright, that's sort of gets the job done. Then we can also reduce inverse kinematics panel. Yeah, so this it's not... Yeah, so some motion here might not be required, but we got some automation here that is working. Okay, then yes, I was looking for these helper bones. They need to tweak this. This we've solved. We solved for the neck. The head is already solved. We these helper bones we did. This is, yeah, this seems to be correct. This I think I've wave painted. Yeah, wave paint everything. So essentially this clavicle or collarbone, yes, I did. This tiny one here that means anything, even that we did. Yeah, so we did everything. So I don't know the symmetry because of gravity, if probably the lower part might have lesser influence and so forth. So here we would have this, and here we would have higher influence. So if this is 7, 0.7, 0.8, yeah. Let's try again. Better with the Control F key. Okay, that makes sense. So in principle we got a pretty solid setup here for all those things. Need to improve still something about the armpit, but there's not so much. It's just some pose here that is hard, gets too stretched, and yeah, so this could be rabbit hole could be expanded to oblivion. Here I'm not looking for too much perfection, so it's just something that is cool and that works and that serves as demonstration. So folks, this is the end of this of today live stream, but I'm going to just yeah, so we fixed the spine, we fixed the upper torso, although there would be things here to, yeah, smooth waves, we got all that. So body, so we're gonna, we just, yeah, neck, we did the 2 twist bones, single fan bone, chest joint, yeah, we did all that, but we concentrated that on the same 2 fan twist bones actually. Shoulders, yeah, all that we did all this. And we end up with just a single last remaining challenge for the, which is the pelvis femur, well, hip thigh joint rig. So I have already the dual fan helper bones, but they are not apparently automated. Then we need to set up the fanny bones, the leverage system. They already exist. This came from another rig, but they are not automated, and they are not bendy bone splines. But oh, there's also a crotch bone somewhere. Yeah, we need to, that is a good setup from another tutorial. It's not, it's based on Blender Studio, but it's not perfect. It solves certain things, but we're not using bendy bones, so it's good for side bending, especially of the leg. So far I've checked. And for the crotch, which is a very good idea. So crotch, deformed crotch plus automation. That is a strange automation with armature bone constraint. It's a very cool trick. I don't like because the bone needs to be unparented, and usually I don't like this setups, but it's one of the only ways to get this thing work in a simpler way. So this is why it's an interesting technique. So I think I might be using that. Depth crotch automation, I need to check that. Yeah, waves for all this, right? Automations, yeah. And deltas, then extra automation, which I'm not totally sure how I'm gonna do this. Maybe I will have to. So this can be achieved. The deltas are the diagonal axis. There's no diagonal axis, but it's the combination. So here I'll have a little to yeah, I need to investigate multiplication x-z-axis from bone constraint setup mapper. This involves research, so I need to make I need to know if this can work. And multiplication x-z-axis from driver, but then driver, what I do with driver would be for a corrective shape key, or I need to make the automation from driver, which there's so many things to, there's so many little bones to drive that, yeah. So this is like, I need to research. So if I can make, this is my map delta type, so if I find a way to, oh yeah, I can, what I'm talking about, this, I can use them for the, exactly. So the multiplication is drivers to map bone. Yeah, I think this is, so basically we got, because the driver doesn't exist on the bone constraints, but we can, the multiplication factor formula I think doesn't exist, and we can use the map delta to map the x rotation, the z rotation of the thigh bone, which is the leg rotation, right, and rotations, and then we can make, I have to resolve that, I'm not sure right now, but basically this, I need to map one on the other and mix them, I think, multiply them, yeah. And if I add a driver here, for instance, it implies var a plus var b, so it's like two variables here, add input variable, they just multiply here, one is for the x, one is for the z, And the problem is that how can I bring this back into so how I get this, if I want to do this through bone constraints instead of adding drivers to everything, right? So I would just like to have the property of some properties of this bone, maybe 2 locations here, to respond to the driver, to the multiplication of driver. The multiplication can only be done inside a driver. This is the problem, and I want to bring this data to be interpreted outside of the driver, so I can redistribute the through bone constraints. The driver will be just in here, so it will be much simpler. Ideally, a system without driver. I nearly did that, but then this is not enough because they just add. This will be an addition and not a multiplication. So and so the delta would be, this is super confusing right now. In the case of the corrective shape key, the delta is an extra correction. In the case of bone constraints, the delta is, would it be an extra motion for the bones that will correct? Likely an intermediate. But I have other setups here that can actually solve many things, which I'm gonna remember here. Remember the custom space pivot point. Ballistic rotation. This can be a lifesaver, can help greatly in making the automation. So maybe with these automations I might even avoid the deltas. Maybe. Alright folks, so big topic. So for the next week I'll go immediately on this, and that's my interest, a lot of people out there, and we'll see how much time this will take to. I have experience with that, but it might be annoying and I'm a bit rusty. I will, and this is low poly, it will make things a bit more bizarre. But if I'm lucky, this won't be too hard, and we'll be able to solve everything in, I expect 2 to 3 days, and only doing that. I don't think I'll be using action bone constraint. The wave paint will be easy here in principle, so it's more about the thing of the deltas and the automations. It'll be a struggle, but I've been through worse. So in this thing, so this is, I'm quite comfortable. It will be funny. So that's it folks, thanks for watching, take care and happy blending, have a nice week and see you soon. Enjoy folks, happy blendering. And that would conclude the rigging, except for the spring bones and wiggle bones. Just simple but a little tricky.